Good morning. It is Wednesday, January the 11th, 2023. I'm Pearson Bowen, and this is the CBC Morning Report. Government is tackling crime from every angle. That's the word from the minister responsible for crime prevention, Corey Lane. He says the new direct intervention program is already in the works since its approval by the Security Council and Cabinet last month.
We actually have a team of persons going out there and working with persons who we believe that may be inclined to get involved in retaliations. What we are doing is we are going and be proactive and actually having discussions, counseling, pivot programs, remedial programs, mental health initiatives with persons who suffer loss in their families and may be inclined to go and commit a heinous crime in this society.
Well, the minister, who was sworn in less than 6 months ago, says already there have been pockets of success, but admits it was difficult to measure success in this regard.
Failures of the program will be seen on the front page or page 3 or 4, but the success of the program is hard to point to because they cannot tell you about the persons who have been saved from being shot. We have 2, 3, 4 persons that say they want to get out of this life, they feel it hits on their head, and they want to be facilitated to even leave the country. That is success. We have persons who say they're going to retaliate and now they are in a program and they have not committed retaliations as yet, and hopefully with fingers and toes crossed we can continue to keep that trajectory going. That is success. But it's hard to point to those things because they have to point to what would have happened, could have happened, but hopefully will not happen.
Well, the strides of the University of the West Indies since its inception on January the 7th, 1943 were lauded as UWI marked its 75th anniversary. The celebrations are planned, and the first of which was an interfaith convocation service which was held at the UWI Chapel on the Mona campus in Jamaica. UWI Chancellor Professor Robert Bermudez took the congregation down the memory lane as he highlighted important timelines in UWI's history as he delivered the founding story of the University of the West Indies. Mr. Bermudez says the UWI has grown and enhanced knowledge at every turn.
From the beginning, the University College extended its influence throughout the region through the Department of Extramural Studies, now known as the UWI Open Campus. Heads of country sites and resident tutors in drama, radio education, public administration, economics, made the people of each country feel they were indeed part of this university.
The UWI's 75th anniversary celebrations are being observed under the theme UWI at 75, Rooted, Ready, Rising. This is the CBC Morning Report. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter.
New findings on prostate cancer here in Barbados are now prompting an urgent call to reduce the age at which men are being screened. The findings are contained in what is the largest screening for prostate cancer trial in the world, which was done on island. The Barbados Cancer Society study, now complete after 2 years, focused on the testing of men of African descent using genomics, with a trial comparing the PSA, which is a standard screening test, with a PRO-test, a technique used using DNA molecular signature in the blood. 565 men over the age of 40 volunteered for that study. Of that number, Professor David Rossin reveals 87 had a positive PROS test, while at the same time registering normal PSA levels.
The 76 men who had normal PSA tests, of these 17, believe it or not, were between the ages of 40 and 50. Normally, prostate cancer is thought to be a cancer of men of older age groups. And usually, we don't screen for people over the age of 60, that is worldwide. Here in Barbados, we do take people from 50. But I think this trial has proved that we're going to have to lower the bar and start screening people from the age of 40.
Professor Rosen explains the study helps to give participants the best possible chance of survival once diagnosed with prostate cancer.
From the trial, we have found 76 men out of 565 men in the trial, that's 15%, who will develop prostate cancer sometime in the future by screening them regularly. We will be able to diagnose the cancer at the earliest stage possible, when the disease is less aggressive and the treatment much less invasive.
Professor Rosen is urging men 40 years and over, especially those with a family history of prostate cancer, to be screened. The Barbados Cancer Society will commence another trial at the end of the month, this time for colon cancer. There are 600 volunteers for that trial. Well, new satellite images of China have been showing evidence of crowding at crematoriums and funeral homes across the country. Lines of vehicles can be seen waiting outside the buildings. Images were taken over 6 cities between late December and early January. CNN's Selena Wang has the very latest from Beijing.
China's crematoriums and funeral homes as COVID cases explode across the country. The images taken by Maxar in late December and early January and reviewed by CNN show lines of cars waiting outside of funeral homes in 6 Chinese cities. The images appear to show that a funeral home at the outskirts of Beijing has even constructed a brand new parking area. This is consistent with what I've seen at crematoriums in Beijing and with numerous social media footage that shows overflowing funeral homes. When I visited crematoriums last month, I saw a long line of cars waiting to get in and yellow body bags piling up in metal crates and workers loading more in. I spoke to families who told me they were waiting for days to cremate their loved ones. All of this, it suggests China's COVID death toll is far higher than the government's tally of only 37 COVID-19 deaths since December 7th, a strikingly low number. The World Health Organization and U.S. have accused China of underrepresenting the severity of its current outbreak. Global health officials are urging Beijing to share more data about the explosive spread. While the country is no longer providing nationwide statistics on COVID infection numbers, some provinces are sharing their own data. The provincial government of Henan said that around 89% of its residents have been infected with COVID-19 as of last Friday. This is China's most populous province with a population of more than 98 million people. Local officials did not disclose the death toll.
United States President Joe Biden has pushed for tougher action on illegal migration and drugs in a meeting with his Mexican counterpart. The talks come ahead of the North American summit when they will be joined by Canada's Prime Minister. Drug trafficking, manufacturing, migration and trade are set to top the agenda of the meetings.
Nice to see you.
U.S. President Joe Biden met with his Mexican counterpart, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, at the Presidential Palace in Mexico City. It's his first trip to Latin America since entering the White House. The two leaders held a bilateral meeting to discuss some of the pressing issues affecting both nations and to improve relations that were strained by Mr. Biden's predecessor, Donald Trump.
Presidente Biden, usted tiene la llave.
President Biden, you have the key to significantly open and improve relations between all countries of the American continent.
On Tuesday, Mexico, the U.S. and Canada will discuss important issues ranging from economic cooperation and climate change to illegal migration and drug trafficking. Biden arrived a few days after the detention of Ovidio Guzman, the son of the drug lord known as El Chapo, who is currently detained in an American prison. Experts say the U.S. is likely to ask Mexico to do much more to stop the trafficking of illegal drugs such as fentanyl that kill thousands of Americans each year. But analysts say fighting the flow of drugs into the U.S. won't be easy.
Fentanyl being the theme of the day, as it were, basically the pressing domestic political issue in the U.S. as well, more so than Mexico, is that so far everything seems to indicate that we're repeating the same mistakes that have been repeated in the past. We're still relying on the same vocabulary, the same practices of trying to curb the flow of illicit drugs from Mexico, from Latin America, more widely speaking, into the United States and other parts of the Western world.
Another key issue on the agenda is migration. Hundreds of thousands of people are trying to reach North America every year. Last week, President Biden announced a parole program to allow 30,000 people from Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua to enter the U.S. legally every month. And Mexico has said it will accept 30,000 deportees from the U.S. each month.
Jamaica's Ministry of Education this school term will be placing greater focus on the teaching of civics. Minister Fayval Williams sees the program as an important addition to the curriculum. Civics education encourages good citizenship, greater respect for cultural integrity and nation building, among other things. It's been reintroduced to the national standards curriculum at all levels.
Minister Williams said that starting this term, civics will be taught in all schools, not just in the 95 schools that currently do so. She said the ministry is aware of the various social issues and the need for an intentional and intensive focus on students' development of civic virtues. Minister Williams added that it is understood that there is the need to encourage national pride in Jamaican children from an early age. She said civics in school will serve as a fundamental pillar for students to develop their critical soft skills and become the Jamaicans we want them to be. The Education Minister said that the ministry's emphasis this term and going forward will also be on parent-teacher cooperation as the ministry seeks to complete the harmonious development of the Jamaican students' character. The ministry, she said, would like to see more desirable behavior, less fighting among students, healthy habits, and positive attitudes in personal and social life.
St. Lucia's opposition is not impressed by Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre's New Year's message delivered Sunday to the nation. The Prime Minister repeated government's commitment to tackling crime and corruption at the highest levels while expressing high hopes for the local economy. The opposition, however, has called the address uninspiring and unoriginal.
Given his views about the Prime Minister's address, Opposition Senator Dominic Fede says it failed to reassure St. Lucians who were hoping for some inspiration to take them into a year which experts have predicted to be a turbulent one.
And I don't think that the address has actually adequately addressed the circumstances of our time. We have a crime situation that's a crisis in this country and really threatens to destroy everything that our forefathers have worked for to build up this country. We have an economy that is not adequate to deal with a lot of our fiscal challenges from the standpoint of insufficient revenue to the government, as well as creating insufficient jobs to the people of St. Lucia. Where is that economic master plan to transform this country, to radically provide an opportunity for the people of St. Lucia? It was totally missing. I hope that he would have given it to me. But again, it was the same usual Philip J. Pierre style New Year's address, and I'm disappointed.
Prime Minister Philippe Pierre, however, is full of optimism that the country will be able to overcome the challenges of 2023 with help from above and the cooperation of citizens.
To Ghana now, Ghana will soon be introducing a new high-value rice variety to the market. The Minister of Agriculture says the nutrient-packed bio-fortified rice variety will be ready for distribution to farmers for sowing by the latter half of this year.
This project was launched in February 2021 between the Ministry of Agriculture's Rice Research Station and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA. The goal is to develop a nutrient-filled, healthier alternative to traditional rice varieties found in Guyana.
The biofortified rice is where the zinc, the zinc supplement that when you go to doctor, they might ask you to drink it to improve your immune system. The zinc is being grown in that rice.
Upon its release onto the market, the biofortified rice will be the first of its kind in the Caribbean. It will also help to combat malnutrition while promoting healthier lifestyles.
That rice has potential to be very profitable. And many farmers will give now that variety to start planting Guyana.
The minister also reported that one of the varieties which has been developed, the GRDB16, has seen increased yields over the past few years.
The first fleet of electric buses is hitting the streets of Belize in June of this year. Mayor of Belize City Bernard Wagner says teams have been working closely with various partners to construct the bus depot, establish charging stations and finalizing the route, as well as costing the riding of buses. Channel 5 Belize reports.
That's going to be located at the Belize Airport Authority here on their parking lot here in Belize City, all the way by the municipal airstrip.
That by Marion Jones.
Exactly, yes, just behind Marion Jones. What you're looking at on screen right now is the overhead shot showing where the vehicles will be parked. We have our electric buses, and we're also hoping to get some electric taxis to show that it doesn't have to be a 30-foot mass transit vehicle. It can be a regular vehicle that will help more people to get around as well. The one on screen now gives you a more of a front-facing view of the building itself and the parking locations.
We maintain, right, that we are not chasing anyone out of business. We don't want to chase any of the current bus owners out of business. We are precisely doing a pilot project. You will not see any of our buses racing to chase down one of the other buses and trying to pick up. No, we have a,
that's the culture.
We have a route that we will service. We are not chasing anyone out of town. All the bus owners have the ability to earn and run business in the city, and so that is one of our main goals here, is not to chase anybody out of town. At the end of the day, when this project is completed, then we'll have the required data, the necessary data, to see if it is a feasible project for expansion.
Well, coming up this morning at 6:30 on Morning Barbados, Sacred Warrior Mothers. Who are they? What's their purpose? What's their mission? They'll join us this morning to talk about that. An Olympian and World Championship medalist is on island. She'll come to us this morning to talk to us about her journey, her challenges, and how she is using her experience to inspire others as well. Plus, this morning, we'll hear about the 30-day Clarity Challenge. What is that? And how can you be a part? Those and a whole lot more straight ahead at 6:30 on Morning Barbados. You're watching the CBC Morning Report. We're back with more after this.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.
The issue of port security was one of the main discussion items yesterday as the minister responsible for crime prevention, Corey Lane, toured the Bridgetown port. Crystal Hoyt reports.
More than 500 surveillance cameras are part of the high-tech security system at the Bridgetown port. This revelation from Minister of State in the Office of the Attorney General with responsibility for crime prevention, Corey Lane, as he toured the facility. He said he was impressed with the infrastructure.
Then here there are no cameras in the port. Then here there are 29 cameras in the port. I come here and see over 500 and something cameras in the port that can do mass detection, color detection, heat detection, motion detection, face recognition, AI.
But it's not just about cameras. The port continues to put mechanisms in place to ensure illegal contraband, including drugs, guns, and ammunition, are seized upon entry.
We have 100% scanning, for instance. We have air coverage of the port and beyond. We have underwater coverage. I think that anybody thinking about doing crime has to think twice when they're thinking about Barbados. And I want Barbadians to be reassured that over the last 3 years that we have really transitioned this port to be one of the #1 ports in the world.
Minister Lane also spoke of government's new initiative to reinforce positive behavior. In this regard, he disclosed that a $1,000 reward will be given to the customs officer responsible for a major gun bust at the Bridgetown port.
37 guns. That is no small feat. And I am saying now that we will be providing a monetary reward and putting it on the record for incidents like this. Why? When we do wrong, when we do poor in this country, we are quick to criticize and we are quick to punish. I think we must be equally or more so quick to reward when we have positive results happening.
The initiative is not limited to customs officers. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
The District Grand Lodge of Barbados is continuing its charitable work. This time around, they've donated boxes of produce and $1,000 to the Salvation Army of Barbados. In making the donation at the Salvation Army's headquarters, District Grand Prefect Richard Mears said the presentation represents a commitment to their ideals of integrity, friendship, respect and charity, which they continually aim to do by providing assistance to charitable organizations.
It gave me great pleasure to come here to the Salvation Army headquarters to present some sweet potatoes, pumpkins and cooking bananas towards their food program and a check for $1,000 to help offset any expenses. Our main drive is to support organizations every year from our fundraising funds to help them along the way. And we will continue to support the Salvation Army every year.
Divisional Commander of the Salvation Army Barbados, Major Brenda Greenidge, welcomes the donations, noting that it will go towards the organization's feeding program, which serves over 275 individuals and other initiatives.
It's this kind of partnership that the Salvation Army really appreciate, that you will come on board in acknowledging the work that we do in assisting the less fortunate in our communities and making such a generous presentation of produce to our feeding program. I'm sure the produce will go a very long way, including the donation. Over the last couple of months, we've seen an increase of persons coming looking for a meal, and I'm sure that we would have the opportunity of not turning anyone away. Thank you again for the partnership that you share and for acknowledging the mission and the ministry of the Salvation Army in serving suffering humanity.
Let's take a look at sports now. The price tag for hosting next month's Davis Cup tennis tie is over 100,000 Barbados dollars. Confirmation from President of the Barbados Tennis Association, Dr. Raymond Ford. The Barbados Davis Cup team will be back on court on February the 3rd and 4th for an all-important World Group 2 playoff first round tie against Pacific Oceania at the Tennis Center in Wilde. That fixture will be the second matchup to be hosted at that facility in 5 months, and the president says it's costing them a pretty penny.
The association
the issue would be for that ties be played away. Then we don't have the financial challenge. But then, of course, then the public wouldn't see our players, how they've improved, and then giving them the opportunity of getting local sponsors, etc., etc. But, you know, we are looking at, you know, in excess of somewhere between 100,000 and 150,000 in all seriousness to put a tie on. Our main problem over the years has always been the officials. We've, you know, over the years, a lot of our expenses have been bringing in officials from the other islands. Trinidad has a cadre of officials there. A lot of them are over 50 years old, but they have been, you know, officiating. They do it as a semi-professional job.
Well, Dr. Ford says while title sponsor Rakuten covers 25 to 30% of the cost of the host nation, the Tennis Association has to depend on assistance from the Barbados Olympic Association or the Arts and Sports Promotion Fund to cover the remainder of the expenses.
It's okay having one tie a year. I mean, you just had a tie in September. How home ties are thing, you know, you put the two countries in a bag and you just pull, and the lucky one gets the home tie, or the unfortunate one gets the home tie, however you look at it. All right, so you're looking at two consecutive, you know, within a 5-month period, and there's a possibility, should we win this tie now, that means in September there's a possibility we may have another tie here in the island again, you know, so it's manageable, you know, to approach certain entities maybe once a year, once every 2 years, but if it's too close, then it becomes, you know, a little horrendous, because obviously these one or two sponsors have many other sports to support as well.
All right, let's take a look at forecast conditions now as recorded at 6 o'clock this morning at the Met Office of the Grantley Adams International Airport. At the moment, under fair conditions with a slight haze, the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. The humidity is 83%. The barometer reads 14.5 millibars, and the winds are coming from the east-southeast at 24 kilometers an hour. Expect today a low tide at 19 minutes past noon. Just about now, we're having a high tide at 4 minutes to 7 this morning, and another high tide at 24 minutes after 6 this evening. For today, seas are predicted to be moderate in open water, swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters, but remaining steady. In the forecast for Barbados today, simple Simon May the Pieman, a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few isolated light showers. And the forecast for Barbados tonight, partly cloudy with a few brief isolated light showers. And in the forecast conditions for some international cities, London registers 11 degrees Celsius maximum temperature with a minimum of 7. Frankfurt 10, maximum 6 minimum. Miami 25 degrees Celsius maximum, 18 degrees minimum. Montreal coming in at -7 as its maximum, its minimum deepening to -9. Right across the board, cold temperatures in the northern climes. In Boston, 2 degrees Celsius maximum, -1 minimum. New York, 4 degrees Celsius maximum, 3 degrees minimum. And in Toronto, it's even Stevens right across the board, maximum and minimum just the same. So it's just going to be cold all day long. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to
Morning to you indeed, and welcome to today. It's a wonderful Wednesday morning. We're just about halfway through the week. I shall not use the term hump day. Don't believe in it. But nonetheless, good morning to you and welcome. It's Wednesday, January the 11th, 2023. My name is Pearson Bowe, and I do thank you for joining us today and every day, and for joining us also on our streams on YouTube and Facebook. We love your interaction there. Do continue to interact between yourselves and also with us at CBC and our Morning Barbados program. Now, coming up today, we'll get to meet the Sacred Warrior Mothers. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? But who are they? What are they about? And have you ever heard of them? Well, if you haven't, you'll know who they are today. Today also, we'll be meeting an Olympian and a World Championship medalist. She has quite a story to tell of the challenges, the trials, and how she's using her own experience to inspire others across the world as well. She comes to us to talk to us about her journey thus far, and hopefully from her story we find ourselves inspired to reach beyond ourselves for not just world-class recognition, but just recognition period, and to be our best selves as well. Today we'll be sharing with you what is the 30-day clarity challenge. What is that? What is that about? And how simple is it to be able to accomplish indeed the 30-day clarity challenge? And it's a great time perhaps to look at that at the start of a new year, so look out for that as well. Oftentimes he brings the gifts at Christmas, but what do you give to him? Would a slice of black cake help? Well, there's a book about that, and so the author of the book about that will join us this morning as we talk more about what else is being offered in our literary spaces and by our literary writers, or people who are writing from across the region as well. So that is going to be something we're going to dig our teeth into to savor in just a little while straight ahead as well. Time permits, we get a chance with you today to have some fun as we continue to unscramble some letters. There's a word, a challenge still outstanding, and it is your task to be able to define for me the word when you unscramble those letters. Fair? Fair. So, let's get started today. I want to start by introducing you to the Sacred Warrior Mothers. Who are they? Joining us this morning to talk about it and to introduce themselves is Empress Aziza, who is one of the co-founders, along with Zion Daughter. They're co-founders of Sacred Warrior Mothers. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Now, clarify for everybody everywhere, who are the Sacred Warrior Mothers, and why did you start this group?
Certainly. Sacred Warrior Mothers is a group that was started by Empress Aziza and myself, with Elder being Mama Thelma. It came out of a discussion about the need for us to do something about the healing that we are seeing lacking in Barbados, and positive parenting among our boys especially. So Sacred Warrior Mothers, you can say, is a movement of concern of what is happening in our nation with our youth, our men, and our parents and our mothers.
So how do you intend, how do you do it? What's your plan of action? I'll start with you, Empress Aziza, because, you know, it's well and good. You hear mother pray and pray and pray and pray. Then she uses the belt. She uses all sorts of things to try to tackle this here. So what is Sacred Warrior Mothers doing to be able to achieve the things that you set out to achieve?
Well, one of the things we started out doing, we had a few, we started in August 13th, and we came together. Spirit says, bring the daughters together. We came together and we kind of set the tone from there. We had a few sit-down talks. We don't want to say seminars. And our first talk was Mothers Losing Sons, where we really examine what's been going on with our boys in our community. And then we had one called Mothers Raising Sons. And out of that, then we started with our WhatsApp group, where we invited people to come join us. Since we're a movement, we are not an organization, to share information about, as Zion's daughter said, positive parenting, uplifting quotes, uplifting videos, where we look at the fathers and the mothers as one unit in the household. Because coming out of slavery with the Billy Lynch letter, we never really heal. And if you talk to the average Barbadian, you get this sense, it's calm, but yet you get this anger. And that anger stems from low self-esteem. Then you got stuff like mental health. We never really heal from that. And I believe in that Willie Lynch letter. He says a phenomenon has to come that will change the dynamic of what they propose. You know, that letter came out of Benjamin Rush, a psychologist who used his profession to look at something called dramatomania, and something will have to come that changes that. After we've been sitting down for 2 years, you know, that's trauma on top of trauma, intergenerational trauma, and we've never really examined that, how it affects us as mothers. You know, everything starts with us, and we have to change that for our boys. Boys become men, men become fathers and husbands. So it starts at the root, and which is the mother. So coming out of that, we started looking at sacred warrior mothers and how we can now make an impact. Marching and protesting, all that has its merit, but we have to heal. We have to start that healing, which is talking with each other and not at each other. So coming out of that, we then looked at January 1st, 21, because this is a year of magnetism. This is a year of change. This is a year of ascension and evolution. And Mother says, I call God Divine Mother. She says, bring the children together, because we have to root ourselves back to the earth where we become the trident. Because right now we have half a trident. We become the other half to heal that, to return Atlan to its great state.
Someone is listening saying, I hear you, but how do we live? How do we make that change every single minute of every single day? What are some practical ways in which we can begin to see the change that Sacred Warriors Mothers are hoping together, collectively, to be able to do?
Well, actually, in our... Go ahead, Zion's daughter.
Sorry, Empress. This is where we, in our WhatsApp group discussions, we started talking about healing from within. If you're talking about change, positive change in parenting, you do have to look at yourself. You do have to examine why you're doing things. What is your motive? Where are you going with it? And if persons are walking around with trauma, whether it's childhood trauma, adult trauma, or trauma from an event, and they have not healed as an individual, they also will find it difficult to relate to other people, and especially children, and in marriage with their spouse, at work when they're dealing with customers. So your lack of healing transmits into many different areas of yourself and many different areas of how you operate and the circle that you operate in. So you have to start from within.
The healing.
That's right.
But can one
Yes.
heal oneself, or does one need assistance in that healing?
Empress?
Well, I think a bit of both, really, because if you have a community that is, for example, we just launched our talk show called Time for Realness. And in that talk show, we really examine the event and emotion. We get caught up with the emotion and we don't look at the event, right? So we get women to talk about themselves. We share our story, and that's something we don't do here in Barbados in the community. We'll hear little bits and pieces of things, but to speak openly, people don't do that. People look for the story to run to tell somebody else. They stay within. So it's the idea is to get people to share their story, because your story is going to change somebody's life in the long run. And we found in our group, women started to talk about their stories. They started to examine themselves. And when people come to me in my little shop, I put them through courses. This is the healing work you're going to do. For example, somebody comes in, I will say to them, you're going to write a letter to yourself. You're going to write 7 things that work for you or 7 things that didn't work for you. And I work with them through the process. They're never on their own. They're never left on their own, because we work through the process and constant contact we have with each other. And that's what we do in our Sacred Warrior Women. We are in constant contact with each other, uplifting each other on a daily basis, posting something that makes them stop and think about themselves.
Right. Fix
So
one's.
constant.
So fix oneself, and then by extension fix one's relatives, one's families, one's offspring. Is that what I'm hearing you to say, that the Sacred Warriors mothers, you come together, you share openly and safely, and in doing so you're able now to really peel the onion, so you get to really what is the root of it, and by doing so you're able now, having been fortified, recognizing exactly what you need to change, you now begin to have a different relationship with your sons, because you're tackling the sons at society's level. Obviously there's something going on out there with the boys that has caused you guys concern to start with. What do you see as the reality in our society that triggers this need for you to come together as Sacred Warrior mothers?
When you look at, let me go to a story recently of a young man who unfortunately took his life. And when the neighbors and the family started speaking to the media, they said, if he could have come to me. Now, we have heard this story repeat many times. And that story starts somewhere, and it started with him, with his sense of self and his sense of worth and his sense of, do I even belong? Now, why boys? Because boys are the mentoration of a society. Men are we cannot go forward if the men are behind. As women, we cannot say, yes, we have attained, and leave our boys behind. When a boy comes out of that stage, he's now a teenager. If he doesn't have a place in society, or society doesn't regard his presence as being valid, what will he turn to? So when Sacred Warrior Mothers is asking the mothers to heal, we're also asking them, make a place for your boys, who also will become men, who will become fathers, who will become husbands. And we must not leave our boys behind, because they are hurting, and we have to regard their feelings as being valid. We have to regard fathers' feelings as being valid. And the balance in society cannot come if one is ahead, one is behind, one is progressing, and one is regressing.
You are so right on all of that. I tell you, I'm so glad you're able to share on all of those levels the mother's role in relation to the boys and the fathers as well, because when we damage that relationship with the men folk in that triangle, then we have a problem. We truly have a problem. And so how are you being able to tackle with the mothers the images they project onto their men, whether it's the children or the father? Because oftentimes they define them, you're a man, you're a man, you know, and you say these kind of things that are hurtful to men. Are you able to tackle it with the women about those kinds of issues as well? How they speak?
But that's the thing. But that's the thing, because we're getting there. We have to first look at ourselves as women. As women. I was telling Zion's daughter a little story that I crafted to help people understand themselves. Mother came home, and when mother got home, the son, her favorite son, is in the bed laying down. He's horizontal, laying down, he's shivering, he's cold. And off to the side is a blanket. The blanket has holes in there, has all kinds of things going on with it. And the mother was in pain because her son, who she left to till the ground, didn't do that. The ground is barren, the land, anything like that. So mother said, about, as mothers always do, she's got her little pieces of cloth out, and she started to make a quilt to cover the blanket. You see, mama is God. Mama represents God. The son, he's shivering, he's cold, and the blanket and all the pieces that mother put together was love, joy, peace. Those are the patches. And when she put that blanket together, the blanket is the woman. You see, the woman, we're supposed to be the comfort for the man. But if we are off to the side, all tattered and broken, with nothing to cover the brother, he doesn't respect us. He's not going to respect us. So we got to get healed. And that's what the divine or God is doing. She has to heal the woman first. We have to secure ourselves, look at ourselves, so that we can now be the covering, the comforter for the man. You see, the man is the king. He's a protector of the land. And without the protector, the kingdom is wide open. The children are wide open. And the children are us. They're our great, 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 great grandparents now. so that we can come. We are in the future, in the present. And if we can't be a covering for the man, then what is it? We must cover our men.
That is such a good question. If you can't be, what is it that you're supposed to be? You're so right on that score, because oftentimes in the age of liberalization and empowerment, you know, you're finding these kinds of frictions within relationships and within households as well, where she feels liberated. And so I am not taking on that role that used to be my grandmother's role. But there are certain things that you're saying that are still endemic to women, and that a woman must play her role in its entirety in order to have that peace that we're talking about in our general society as well. Now, you talked to me about having an online presence where you're offering opportunity for people to gather. What is that online presence?
We have not just our WhatsApp chat group, but we've finally found our YouTube page. We have a TikTok page and an IG page. So what we try to do is to put uplifting videos and uplifting all original content. We do not copy other people's work. It's stuff that we came to us out of conversations, out of prayer, out of meditation, out of grounding and inspiration. So we try to share that with our online presence and our WhatsApp community.
Wonderful. Remember, it's called Sacred Warriors Mothers. But you have an event coming up on the 21st of January at the National Botanical Gardens. Can you share with us what it is that you're doing and what will you be doing then?
Certainly. January 21st is the birthday of the father of independence, and Errol Walton Barbados. And we thought that on such a significant day, we can come together and join a family and ask the family to come together to commit to the healing process. We are not here to demand or give you guidelines, but what we are asking you to do is come together and say to each other or to yourself, I commit to find healing from my trauma. I commit to making life better for my family. It's a commitment that you're making to yourself. And then by extension, you're making that commitment to Barbados, to healing this nation. Because if one heals, then they take that message to another, and that person takes that message. That's why Sacred Warrior Mothers is a movement. We are asking people, move with us in our healing. We have healed. Come and join us in healing as well.
Well said, well put indeed. January the 21st, National Botanical Gardens from 9 in the morning until 11. So it's a couple hours of healing, a couple hours of joining the movement and recommitting to seeing the change in society that, you know, we want to see, the change within self, the change within society as well, because you're building bridges, and you also hope is rising, because it's through that hope rising that we're beginning to take a positive outlook and we see the positive changes that we want to be able to achieve as well. We got to leave it there, but ladies, well done. I commend you, and I really want to thank you so much for joining with us this morning on Morning Barbados. Empress Aziza and Zion, daughter of the Sacred Warrior Mothers. Look for them on social media and interact with them. If you see mothers watching right now, ladies, because you don't have to be a mother alone. You can be an aunt, you can be just a member of society, but female. If you see yourself and you have the passion for change, then you join with these ladies, join the movement. If you see yourself and you want to see men do better as well, you join these Sacred Mother Warriors as well. But if you want to make a public declaration of it, you join them on the 21st of January in the National Botanical Gardens from 9 in the morning until 11 for a couple hours, and recommit. 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 Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
10 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. Many times a lot of us say to ourselves, I know what I want, I know where I'm going, I know exactly what I have to do, and then we fumble because we don't quite know exactly what we want, where we need to be, and how we need to do so. So we need clarity, don't we? Well, this is where Cara Boyce comes in. She's an executive coach, and she can help us with her 30-day clarity challenge. Sort all of that out. Cara, good morning.
Good morning, person. How are you?
I am well, thank you for asking. How are you doing? And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm great. I'm good.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So do you really think, you heard what I just described when we were coming through, when I was introducing you, because oftentimes that's exactly how we are. We wake up and say, yeah, I know what I have to do. So you don't have to tell me, I know what I have to do. And then we never achieve it because we lack clarity on what it is that we want to do and how we intend to achieve it. So how can this 30-day challenge help us?
Well, you know, Pearson, that is exactly how everyone feels on a daily basis. Even myself sometimes, you know, because we are faced with so many decisions, so many information that's coming at us at any given moment. And this 30-day challenge was created and designed to be able to create that clarity for anyone that is seeking to go further, that is seeking to achieve different results for 2023 and beyond. And the thing about it, I absolutely love this challenge. It is a self-paced challenge.
Yes.
So it is not, where let's start February 1st and end, March 2nd. It isn't like that. It's once you have enrolled and you've started, then that's your day one, and you are allowed to pace yourself without the societal pressures. Now, a bit about the 30-day clarity challenge is it is it's using an online platform where you get guided notes on a daily basis, guided instructions on what are the things that you should do on that particular day. And it includes things like, for example, the first day you have to declutter a space. So, for example, Pearson, if you have a bag that you usually carry and it has in all these envelopes and all, these bills. And
yes.
Kind of like declutter that space first. So that's the type of, it's very light. It's a very light type of challenge. And on a daily basis, there's something different that each person would need to do.
So you're working the muscles here. You're working the mental, emotional muscles as we go, because you're saying to me, oftentimes we hang on to a lot of things that keep us back. And if we have set ourselves and we want to be better in 2023, how do we do so? We do so by taking on the 30-day clarity challenge, because in uncluttering, then we see exactly what we're working with. We see our naked selves, so to speak. We see the lay of the land and the potential for that lay of the land as well. So you're saying to me, we go online, we register, and our day one starts from the day of registration, basically. And then we run it for 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, we perhaps see a change in behavior?
I'll guarantee. I wouldn't say perhaps, I will guarantee. I'll be confident and say you will see a change in your behavior. Simply because the way the challenge has been designed is to allow you to facilitate growth in every phase. So I have 4 phases, right? The first phase is actually called dump. So in that first 7 days, you are dumping. It's a lot of mental work and emotional work. You are dumping your past feelings, you're dumping any outstanding items from 2022, any outstanding tasks, by making a list of everything that you were unable to accomplish. So the first phase is really dumping and getting it out of your head. Sometimes if I speak to a client or a colleague or a friend, and they're looking for a different perspective, the challenge is that we have it all in our head. So we are regurgitating, we are replaying, and it's just recirculating. But once you put that on paper, you start to feel this release. And so that's the first phase. After we dump, then we start to dig. So we're going to be digging in now to the emotions behind these thoughts that you've been having, the emotions behind the slow progress or the no progress at all, right? In that particular phase, that's where now you're tapping more into your emotions and understanding what your feelings are teaching you. So, for example, one of the tasks that you have to do is you have to write a letter of apology to yourself.
Ooh.
Right? And that's in that the next 7 days, right? And that letter of apology to yourself, you know, as much as it may sound cliche, it may sound as though, oh yeah, I've heard this before, but if you do this correctly, if you do this the right way, if you sit in an intimate space and you say, you know what, Pearson, I apologize to Pearson for such and such, you know, for not allowing myself to dream bigger, for not allowing myself to take more risks, to you know, go after those opportunities. Once you start to do that self-heart work, then you start to feel lighter, you start to get more clarity on an emotional standpoint. After we move from digging, we then going to dive in. And for those persons who are overachievers, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to run from day one, right? No, you really have to pace yourself and allow the process to work, okay? So it's only at stage 3 when you're actually going to dive in and start doing physical stuff, like actually working on your to-do list, reading the book that you selected, contacting these particular persons, you know, building your network. These are things that will add to your clarity. And then the final stage is desire. And at that level, at that stage, this is where you recognize that you are clear. You've recognized that you are in love with the way you're making decisions. You've recognized that, you know, you have a new canvas and there's a lot more possibilities, and you don't want to release that feeling, so you desire it, right? And that is the stage that is going to catapult you over the next couple of months, over the rest of 2023. So I'm really excited about this challenge.
Yes.
And, you know, when I built it, Pearson, why I said I guarantee it is because it is something that I have done myself. And it's something that I go through with my clients. We just never called it this. We just never called it a 30-day challenge. So I just compact it, and I really put a lot of love and a lot of effort into it. It has a lot of scriptural references as well, because I'm a woman of God, and evangelism is that's my calling. So within there, you have spiritual references as well, scripture references that would encourage you and help you, you know, stay on track. I also have motivational videos in there. From YouTube, because I understand sometimes when you are about to do something big, the enemy attacks you. And so you need to be feeding your mind, you need to be feeding your soul. So I put a lot of resources in there for you guys as well that would help, you know, encourage you and inspire you on this personal clarity journey.
A lot of it is based within oneself and one's emotions, how one views things generally. And so we really have to, that's the danger sometimes with ourselves. You know, it's our emotions that control us if we never stop to think it. But we want to say, if you get better control of your emotions, then the logic kicks in and helps you ride the wave. That's why the dumping is important, so that you clear out the space and really clarify your emotions right there. You do the digging deeper, just a little bit deeper, to see what exactly it is that I'm truly working with here, and recognize that you do have it within you. You're going to find it within you, that there is something right there that's a gem waiting to be mined, and then we're going to dive right into being our better selves as we go and come out at the end of it with great desire to continue and make 2023 a far better moment in time, not just for oneself, but for those around you as well, because you're going to see the smile on your face. So, having convinced me now that we're going to do this together, folks, the 30-day clarity challenge, where can we go sign up?
Okay, so you can either go to my Instagram page at impactcoaching_, or you can go directly to the website, which is learn.impactcoachinternational.com/ courses / clarity. And once you click on that, it is very easy. There it is. Yes,
Yes,
30-day
yes.
clarity challenge. Once you click on that and you sign up, then each day the information is going to immediately come to your inbox, or you can log into your portal and you will see. So if you look at the screen, we have, welcome to the Impact Challenge, where you just give some introduction, and you have the different chapters. Let's get started. So it's time to dump. I am so excited for the results that persons are going to get from this clarity challenge. And let me tell you why I'm so excited, person, because some persons do not recognize the benefits or the let's say blockers to clarity. A lot of people, are not clear because of past hurts, because
Yes.
of past failures, because, low self-esteem, not sure, what their purpose is, don't have the goals, don't have the passion. But when I speak to clients and I see how persons just start to manifest, what they want and the fulfillment that they get. I actually have a client who we've been through a 6-month program, and she called me and she said, "Cara, I got this opportunity. Someone reached out to me about this opportunity for this position." And I was excited, right? And I said, "So what did you say?" And she said, "I said no, because that's not a part of my plan."
Wow.
That's
Wow.
and she was so clear. And I mean, it gave me goosebumps. I was so proud of her. And these
Yes.
are things that are going to happen once you go through this 30-day clarity challenge. The benefits is going to be greater confidence, and increased confidence. There's going to be acceleration in terms of what you want to achieve. You're just going to be so decisive. You're going to be so focused. You're going to be so intentional.
Yes,
Man,
yes.
I hope that everyone is blessed and encouraged.
Yes.
And I have to share with you, God does not give us a spirit of confusion.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
The CBC That Made Us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays 11:30 a.m. The CBC That Made Us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're now 4 minutes after 7. Government is tackling crime from every angle. That's the word from the minister responsible for crime prevention, Corey Lane. He says the new direct intervention program is already in the works since its approval by the Security Council and Cabinet last month.
We actually have a team of persons going out there and working with persons who we believe that may be inclined to get involved in retaliations. What we are doing is we are going and be proactive and actually having discussions, counseling, pivot programs, remedial programs, mental health initiatives with persons who suffer loss in their families and may be inclined to go and commit a heinous crime in this society.
Minister Lane, who was sworn in less than 6 months ago, says already there have been pockets of success, but admits it was difficult to measure success in this regard.
Failures of the program will be seen on the front page or page 3 or 4, but the success of the program is hard to point to because they cannot tell you about the persons who have been saved from being shot. We have 2, 3, 4 persons that say they want to get out of this life, they feel it hits on their head, and they want to be facilitated to even leave the country. That is success. We have persons who say they're going to retaliate and now they are in a program and they have not committed retaliations as yet, and hopefully with fingers and toes crossed we can continue to keep that trajectory going. That is success. But it's hard to point to those things because they have to point to what would have happened, could have happened, but hopefully will not happen.
Well, the strides of the University of the West Indies since its inception on January the 7th, 1943 were lauded as UWI marked its 75th anniversary. Year-long celebrations are planned, the first of which...
punishes whoever you will.
Year-long celebrations are planned, the first of which is an interfaith convocation service which was held at the UWI Chapel on the Mona campus in Jamaica. UWI Chancellor Professor Robert Bermudez took the congregation down memory lane as he highlighted important timelines in UWI's history and as he delivered the founding story of the university. Mr. Bermudez says the UWI has grown and enhanced knowledge at every turn.
From the beginning, the University College extended its influence throughout the region through the Department of Extramural Studies, now known as the UWI Open Campus. Heads of country sites and resident tutors in drama, radio education, public administration, economics, made the people of each country feel they were indeed part of this university.
Well, the theme for this year is UWI at 75, rooted, ready and rising. The issue of port security was one of the main discussion items yesterday as the minister responsible for crime prevention, Corey Lane, toured the Bridgetown port. Crystal Hoyt reports.
More than 500 surveillance cameras are part of the high-tech security system at the Bridgetown port. This revelation from Minister of State in the Office of the Attorney General with responsibility for crime prevention, Corey Lane, as he toured the facility. He said he was impressed with the infrastructure.
Then here there are no cameras in the port. Then here there are 29 cameras in the port. I come here and see over 500 and something cameras in the port that can do mass detection, color detection, heat detection, motion detection, face recognition, AI.
But it's not just about cameras. The port continues to put mechanisms in place to ensure illegal contraband, including drugs, guns and ammunition, are seized upon entry.
We have 100% scanning, for instance. We have air coverage of the port and beyond. We have underwater coverage. I think that anybody thinking about doing crime has to think twice when they're thinking about Barbados. And I want Barbadians to be reassured that over the last 3 years that we have really transitioned this port to be one of the #1 ports in the world.
Minister Lane also spoke of government's new initiative to reinforce positive behavior. In this regard, he disclosed that a $1,000 reward will be given to the customs officer responsible for a major gun bust at the Bridgetown port.
37 guns. That is no small feat. And I am saying now that we will be providing a monetary reward and putting it on the record for incidents like this. Why? When we do wrong, when we do poor in this country, we are quick to criticize and we are quick to punish. I think we must be equally or more so quick to reward when we have positive results happening.
The initiative is not limited to customs officers. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
Well, that's our news until now. We'll have more news here on TV8 at 12 noon in the CBC News Day. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
The CBC that made us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 11 and a half minutes now after 7 o'clock on Morning Barbados. I am thrilled to have with me in studio someone who is world class. As a matter of fact, an Olympian, double champ, well, winner of medals at World Championships as well, but just an outstanding person in the world. Her name is Ohanawa Akufo. I got it right. Yes. Did I got it right?
Well said.
Welcome to Barbados.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Is this your first trip?
No, this is my second trip.
What do you think?
Barbados feels like home to me. Like, you know, so my parents are from Ghana, and when I came to Barbados, it just felt like home, my second home.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that, indeed. But you were born in Canada. You've lived in Ghana for a few years, but you're of Ghanaian parents.
Yes.
How do you balance all the switches of cultures and all of that? Canadian, Ghanaian, you know?
Thankful, because the thing about it, when I was born in Toronto, Canada, and from age 3 to 8, we lived in Ghana. So I had Christmases with winter and Christmases with palm trees. That's why I said it feels like home. And as you hear, like, later on as a high performance athlete, you had to travel in different countries. And so being able to go to a country and assimilate with my family made it very easy for me to go to different countries and make them my home when I had to perform, because the more you can acclimatize with a country, the better your performance will be.
That's so true.
Yeah, so it was a blessing in disguise when my parents made that.
It all worked out beautifully, isn't it? But here it is. You've shared yourself, your successes, your failures, your pain, your endurance, your everything with the world as an Olympian and as a world champion as well. How do you feel about, having your life displayed before all to see?
Well, the thing about it, I always say with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
That's like, from the movies.
Yes.
But when you're able to share it, you're able to hopefully inspire somebody else. Because when you decide to do a sport and you decide to be in the public figure, then it comes with you being able to navigate that. For myself, if my struggles and my overcoming and my empowerment inspires somebody else to become a better version, then it's worth it. And you get to go through it with the world, because on your worst day, a lot of people support you too.
It's so true.
Yeah, they hold you up.
Yes. That is so, and I'm glad you've shared that, because oftentimes our point of view is different. We assume, I'm going to cower away, I'm going to hide because nobody loves me.
This is
You're saying no, because even in your weakness, there are people there who are rallying for you.
This is it.
So this honesty to acknowledge that about yourself, where did you discover it?
Well, the thing about it is the sport of wrestling, which I had the fortunate opportunity to do, it's out there. Your feelings, everything, your emotions, just because it's a chess game.
Yes.
And you're as good as your last performance. So you had to get used to that, because you had to always go back, look at what you did, and be accountable to yourself, because your coaches, everybody's there to help you, but you're the only one in the center. It's just like your life. So I always thought wrestling was like a mini cosmo of life, where sometimes in life you can hide. In wrestling, you couldn't.
You really can, yes.
Everything is out there, but when you overcome stuff and when you challenge yourself and become a better version, that's also out there too.
When you discuss with your parents that you want to do, yes, you know where I'm going with this. I am sure your mother thought, no, not my little girl.
Well, the thing about it is, because my parents being from Ghanaian descent,
yes.
when my father and my mother came to Canada, they had the wonderful notion that they told me I can do anything.
Oh, good.
They were like, you know, you're in this country, you can do, women can do anything. Problem.
Yes.
I was like, Daddy, Mom, what about wrestling? And they were like, why? I was like, you told me you can do anything. So sometimes parents, when they say things,
yes.
and you help them to live up to their greatness, they're not too happy about it. But they saw my dedication,
yes.
they saw my discipline, and my parents had just a rule where my academics, I had to keep my grades at a certain level.
Yes.
And it was a trade-off. My dad said he'll take me to my, oh yeah, that is just my family.
Oh.
Before I went to the Olympics, they always do a story about your life.
Yes.
And that is my parents.
Yes.
And just the fact that with my school, as long as I got my grades, then my dad would take me to my practices and pay for my sporting cost. But we had to always have that balance. So it was always that give or take. But it was my parents were people of their word.
Wow.
So they had to live up to when I came with wrestling.
Are you just a single child? Or how many in the family?
I have an older brother, an older sister, and a younger brother, and I'm the only athlete in the family.
All right.
Yeah.
So now that must make you very, very special.
It does, but my siblings, after Olympics, you're washing the dishes. I still have older siblings, but they are my biggest supporters.
Yes, yes, yes.
So at the end of the day, you know your gift to something different. Because I remember World Championships, Olympic Games, they had to, like if they had weddings, they had things, they had to go help be around my schedule of what was important to me, because those things were one in a lifetime opportunities.
Right.
So my family was really supportive in the sense that they always kept me grounded when I came home. Regardless of what I placed in the world, I still did dishes in the house. I didn't get no preferential treatment because I was an Olympian.
Yes.
But they kept me grounded and they kept me quite supported.
Making your way to the Olympics, though, I mean, that required so much discipline, I suppose, you know, and hard work. It was mental and physical at the same time. Talk to me about that journey.
It is, but then on the other side of it, when you look at it, for myself, when I started the sport, I didn't even know about wrestling. I thought it was like the professional wrestling, the WWE.
Yes.
I had no clue about Olympic wrestling because in Ghana, they don't have they don't have wrestling in general. So being able to go and try something different and uncommon, that was the biggest barrier. Because going to the Olympics and doing those other components was one step at a time.
Yes.
Like, you know, they always say, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time?
That's right.
How do you get on the mountaintop? How do you have great success? If I thought about the end, it would be too daunting. But I always thought, okay, can I be the best in my city? Can I be the best in my province? Can I be the best in my country? And then after I went to my first world at age 17, I seen it and I was like, can I get my school paid for?
Wow.
Can I be able to go around the world and travel? As I said, because when I was younger, I was already been to another country and come back. And then I was like, you know what? Can I take one step at a time? And after time, I went to World Championships, I placed, I was like, it's a possibility. And then the Olympic Games, I'm like, can I do that too? So when I take it one step at a time in life, then you're able to take off big chunks with little bites.
That's smart. But sometimes we become impatient with life. And, you know, we begin to assess ourselves based on other people's performance. And we say, you know, at 17, he or she did this. Why am I not yet there? And so we force ourselves and we find ourselves in danger. I mean, because part of what you do as well is inspire others through your messages.
Yes, yes.
So how did you become patient with yourself to enjoy the process, knowing what your ultimate goal was?
Well, the patience part was a skill set that I had to learn. But it was trying to run ahead, because I always say, well, you can't sprint a marathon. You can only run one leg at a time.
Yes.
And when you try to sprint it, you gas out. So a few times I gassed out, where I was like, okay, I got frustrated, and I was like, do you enjoy this? Do you enjoy the people around you? Because sometimes it's the gratitude. And being in the moment, I'm like, are you fortunate to be one of the best in your country? Can you go back to your achievements and celebrate your wins? Because that's what keeps you in the right lane and the right speed and the right tempo. And so for myself, and I was like, are you dying anytime soon? Like, you know, is there a rush? Are you still progressing? So as long as I was one step progressing in my sport, then that means it wasn't retirement time.
Yes.
The day that I said to myself that I didn't no longer enjoy this and no longer seen progression, because it could be somebody else in the country that can represent it better. That's the day that is no longer. And so as long as that was not that day, another day will come. And so that's what made me enjoy it. And every single time I was like challenging myself with different level steps.
Yes, yes. If I wasn't dressed in this, I will wrestle you right now.
I may be a problem.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't like to lose. I have a lot of skills. I like to be respectful
I love
on
it.
that.
So here it is though, you're on this beautiful island.
Yes.
And how do you now, from your experience, use what you've done? You said, I know that you're doing some speeches, you meet with the other young people to inspire them to think for just a second about how they project themselves and how they order their lives. How are you formalizing that so that it becomes accessible to so many others?
Well, the thing about it was being able to share my story. And you don't have to be a wrestler. For myself, that's the first thing is, can you try something uncommon? Can you challenge yourself to step outside your comfort? Because as I said, I didn't know about wrestling.
Yes.
And I tried it and I was like, okay, there's something, you know, that I can do. And these are like pictures. Oh, I have a judo black belt too.
Oh my God. Oh, so yes, I would have wrestled you.
It's like double trouble.
Yes.
But it's being able to, and then being able to go out there and live the story. Instagram, like social media is there to serve you if you let it serve you.
Yes.
Because there's still parts of my life that I keep private just because you have to. And just keep people around you in an inner circle. And then there's the outer circle. But coming to Barbados, I had asked if there was wrestling. And they have beach wrestling here.
Yes.
And for myself, I always thought about sometimes, I didn't see somebody that was a black female wrestler when I started. And one of the things for myself was, if you don't see it, become it. And you know, if you don't see it, become it. But once you become it, show it to others so they can become it.
Wow.
And so when I came, I was like, you know what? They're doing the sport that brought me joy, brought me things I never thought I would have. If somebody had told me years ago this would be my journey, how?
Yes.
My parents' country didn't have this sport. When they decided to immigrate, it gave me an opportunity, but I had to do something uncommon. But if the young ladies here and the gentlemen can see that it paid for my school. I've been to Japan, China, Budapest, Hungary, Guatemala, Venezuela. But the job, I work and play. You know? So I go and work, I do my sport, and then you get to see countries and get to, when you go to somebody's house, you understand them.
Yes.
And you have more compassion for humanity.
Yes.
Friendships that are lifelong friendships that are greater than the medals. The medals just show that you're able to achieve your goal, but the friendships, that's how I came to this island. It was actually a friend of mine that we met at Olympic Education in Greece. She came to Toronto, and I promised her I'd come to Barbados.
Right.
And years later, I showed up.
You are.
This is it. And with that, friendship made room for me to be able to go and help out with the beach wrestling and just showcase a technical part, but be able to come and show the Barbadian people that let your children, your daughters, your sons, try something different.
You are going exactly where I wanted to go with my next question, because oftentimes that's what happens.
Yes.
You know, the child has a passion for it, and the parent says, no, no, fair.
Fear of the unknown, which is fair, but let them try. Like, you know, just go and learn about it.
Yes.
Because there's something in their life that they were fearful of that they did. And you always hope your parents will at least let you try. And you can negotiate terms just like my parents did.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like, you know, but if your child is passionate enough, they will do whatever you need them to do. But sometimes parents, out of their fear, do not allow their children to have, if my parents stopped me, there'll be no Olympian.
Yes, that's so true.
That's able to help others today. They were uncomfortable, so I'm not saying they're going to be happy.
Yes.
But let them try, because you never know where that can take them, because you always want the best for your child, but sometimes what you see is not what they need to do. But my parents are quite content because they've seen the passion, they've seen my joy in it, they've seen the career that had given me that they would have never dreamed of.
Yes, yes. That is such a powerful, powerful statement. Honestly, I really hope mothers and fathers, uncles, aunts, all of you listening and watching, that you are paying close attention to what my friend here is saying. You know, have you ever thought of the money? Was the money a part of your goal, or was it just simply doing what you wanted to do?
Like, you balance the two out because I have a business degree. Like I went to school, and your education and your expertise should yield you revenue.
Yes, yes.
And at the end of the day, your dream cannot be somebody else's nightmare, meaning that you have to be your biggest investor. and you invest it with your time, your energy, and it has to feed you too. So for myself, it came to a point where at the end of the day, the joy of it is what keeps you to sustain. Because a lot of people, if you go and you chase the money, you don't love what you do.
So true.
I do not want you to be my service provider. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to go to the depth of what because you don't have a passion and a joy for it. So when you find something, then you monetize it.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then you go, and I've seen other people that were high performance athletes that were able to monetize their sport. And I was like, let's find a way. If there's a will, there'll be a way. And normally when you start walking in that direction, it will find you.
It will find you. It will find you. But you know, there's a lifespan to everything we do.
Yes. Yes.
Have you considered that as well? And when do you see yourself retiring?
I'm already retired.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A young girl like
I received that. But in my time, like 2015, I was finished. And as I said, there was a time where there was more stuff on the outside of the world that I wanted to do. So I did motivational speaking, all those things I did when I was still competing, but I wanted to lend more time to that.
Right.
Now I work in the film and television industry.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm a stunt performer and going into the acting side. And the stunt performing came from having a background in wrestling and judo, so my gift still made room for me.
Yes, yes.
And I was able to transition into that world where I get paid to train and perform.
Oh, wow. You're living a charmed life.
But it was by choices.
Yes.
Most people will say, oh my goodness, you're lucky. No, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So I prepared for moments of something uncommon. And that's why I say to the parents out there, let your children try. Because if they do, they can find things that are made for them, and their path that's made for you, nothing and nobody can stop you but yourself.
That's right.
And failure in my world is when you stop. Like a failure, because people may see things as failure. For me, I look at it as a lesson.
Yes.
If I realize what I'm not, then I get to realize who I am. And so yeah, so being able to finish my sport and transition into something that still allows me to lend the same expertise, being able to be focused, being able to train on set, having distractions, world championships, you had many just like audiences, like things, transferable skills, being self-disciplined. All those things were intangibles that I got from being able to represent my country.
You're such a special, special soul, honestly.
Thank you.
And it's not that you're totally unique, but you're so special. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think in your uniqueness is what makes you special. Because oftentimes we don't balance life in the way that you've balanced it. You've done your sport, you've done your education, you've retired now, and you're still working at what you are so good at. And that in itself is a true blessing indeed, because not many people live enough to be able to experience enough of what you've experienced as well. I hope that when I tell my life story, that it could be in some way similar to yours, where I've been there, done that, and continue to do. And that's what a lot of people yearn for, but are never able to accomplish.
But they don't take, there's a risk. There's a fear that comes that most people do not want to go. Because to be able to do what you love means you have to admit to yourself what you don't like.
Yes.
And most people, they say yes to everything. So if you can't say no, you don't get to say yes to the great things that you want. And then just to track Barbados beach wrestling, I just want to mention, Barbados has a very unique opportunity in where beach wrestling, you have beautiful beaches.
Yes.
And wrestling is an opportunity for your children to get something different that may take them outside the country, may pay for their education. And I was told that the Barbadian Olympic Association is very supportive.
Yes.
The National Sports Council, very supportive. Barbados Tourism and Marketing. Your country supports you in what you want to do, but it's up to the parents and the young people to take this opportunity, because you never know. And that's I hope that's my message. It's like, you never know where it can take you, but if you don't do it, you definitely will know that's a no. You can't go nowhere if you don't move.
Oh, Hanoa, listen, girl, listen. Let me look at the time. It's 7:30. I couldn't believe I just sat here and spoke to you for so long. Really, you are such an inspiration. You're a truly wonderful person.
Thank you.
I love your spirit. It is very, very light. It's also very, very bright. And that's what I think endears a lot of people to you. Congratulations on all you've achieved thus far. And continue inspiring the world, inspiring girls to show that, you know, this space is for you too. You don't have to limit yourself by your gender alone. You can also do and be. And so you've done that. You said earlier, you know, no is a very powerful thing. And that was what I had a conversation with the interview prior to you. You know, yes, no, clarity. Yes, clarity. That's what it's all about. So seek your clarity, know who you are, know your purpose, and you be. Just be. And that's what it's all about. And you've taught us a lot of that this morning alone from your story. What a wonderful story. What a wonderful person. Thank you for coming by to share with us this morning.
I appreciate your time.
You're welcome, and congratulations on everything so far, and the more to come from you. And oh, by the way, when are you planning to come back?
Well, the gift of the industry I work in gives some low times, and as I said,
schedule us in.
Yeah, I will. 'Cause when I come here, I love the beaches because right now it's snowing in Toronto. I just make sure I came and got my vitamin D deposits, and I'll definitely be back for some more. But as I said, it feels like home. So
good.
Outside of going to Ghana, I love coming to Barbados.
Wonderful. We are happy to have you indeed. So please come again. Tell others about us, please. When you go out, tell others about Barbados and why they should come to Barbados. We love it.
I would definitely. They would know by my happiness, my glow.
I love that. They will know by her happiness and her glow. This is Ohanawa.
Yes.
Because I have to remember Henry Ohanawa.
You got it every time.
Who's been with us indeed, world champion, Olympian, just an outstanding woman of the world indeed. Very, very inspiring. Here's hoping you were able to glean much from our interaction this morning indeed and benefit from it truly, truly. We're taking a break. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to
We're 25 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. From the age of 8 years old, this Guyanese-born Canadian person has been writing, and I mean writing indeed. Her name is Yolanda Marshall. Yolanda, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for joining us. From one Canadian to another now. One Canadian, now to you, Yolanda. And I'm told that you've visited Barbados more times than you've visited Guyana. How come?
You know what? Oh, don't think about it. But you know, I have my Bayesian heritage, of course, on my dad's side. And I was born in Guyana. So when I left Guyana as a young teenager, I've only visited once, but I've been to Barbados a few times. The last time I was in Barbados was 2019.
Yes.
And I love Barbados. Why not? It's a part of my heritage. It's in my blood.
That's right.
So, you know, it calls me there, and I took my son when he was very young, and he loves Barbados.
Nice.
He remembers certain things about Barbados, and to this day, he enjoys cuckoo and flying fish.
Thank you for instilling our heritage in him, indeed. And thanks to your father for introducing him and you to who we are. And I'm glad that you're loving who we are as well. We're loving who you are too. And you've written a book now, A Piece of Black Cake for Santa. I just love it. You know, at Christmas, there it is. He brings us the gifts. And you thought in return, the least we can do is give him a piece of black cake, at least, right?
Exactly. At least we can do that. And, you know, the thing is like the book, I think the name alone says a lot, right?
Yes.
Being in Canada, a lot of times, well, most of the time, you'll hear the cliche, leave Santa cookies and milks and carrots. But in our Caribbean homes, we had mobby, sorrel, black cake, you know, jug, and these kinds of foods. So our reality was not really cookies and milks and carrots. So I figured, you know, what's a great Christmas book, a Caribbean Christmas book that children within the Caribbean diaspora can relate to, parents can relate to, and even everyone back home, like, understand this. And I would say, yes, let's leave some black cake for Santa, because he will feel extra nice after.
Yes, indeed. But in the book itself, you're also, were you able to give us some recipes as well, I'm told?
Yeah, so originally I self-published this book, and just before the pandemic, I received a multi-book deal with a Canadian publisher, and they took it up. The illustrator is South African, and here's the recipe.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Yes.
It is so beautiful.
Listen.
And the recipe is by Monique Curry from NowYou'reCooking.ca. And she's a culinary instructor. She's also an educator, and she's of Jamaican ancestry. And she was able to make a black cake recipe excluding the alcohol, of course, and used juice to age the fruits. So it's family friendly, right? Whatever the adults do with it after, you know, but for children, it's safe. And the publisher added the recipe to it, which I find is so empowering, because kids over here who don't know, or parents who don't know how to make black cake, but have eaten it because of their grandparents, or when they come back home, they can now keep this book as a classic and as a recipe book for generations to come.
So true. A Piece of Black Cake for Santa. But it's a children's book, is it?
It is a children's book, but I'll tell you what, a lot of people who love this book are of all ages. I have a lot of senior citizens who love this book because growing up, they've never had a book like this. To have a book with Black Santa Claus and growing up in the Caribbean, you know, or even see a book saying, hey, give Santa black cake in sorrel, in pastel. So they love it, and I have a lot of adults who buy it because, once again, it's the book that they wish they had growing up. So it's into all ages. But yes, it is a children's book, and I would say it's all ages. It's for everyone, and for all those who have never had a Christmas book celebrating their culture.
Indeed. Who's the main character of the book? Who's the one who will give the piece of cake to Santa?
Well, we have Femi. So we have Femi is the main character, but in a part of the book you see where you know, one of the kids are like, I'm going to leave a piece of black cake for Santa. And Femi's like, well, we all like black cake, right? Like, I like, you know, she said, I love you, but well, we all, and that was like so, I wanted to say that because you know how we have in the Caribbean, like, oh, this one has the best black cake. And not, it's like, actually, no, we all have black cakes, and it's some of it good, some of it bad in the respective countries. So, but at the end of the day, it's such a tasty treat we have. I actually placed the origins of the black cake, which is from the thing from Britain, right, from the UK. So I give that, and I love to talk about how the Caribbean region has just improved that ingredient.
Well said.
The ingredient is so dense, and you know, the fruits in it, and of course for adults they put the rum.
Yes.
But you know, I really want to share the history of it and such. But yes, Femi is the one. But at the end of the day, everyone has black cake. So I really wanted them to be like, you know, the kids left ABC, and it, you know, it could be from anyone. I know the pastels wasn't sell out. The pastels is truly.
Yes, I know. Yes, yes.
We know the judge, yeah.
So here is the story of Sunny. Sunny is, who is Sunny? Sunny is how old is Sunny, and what? Tell me, describe the character of Sunny in the book.
So it's Femi, Femi, and
oh,
that's a
okay,
West
got you.
African name. Femi, yeah, a very popular name in Nigeria actually. And this is, I'll show you. So as you can see, you have Femi here.
Yes.
Right. Sorry, am I showing that right? Yes. You have Femi right here, right? And then, of course, you have like Marley, you have Delroy, you have Indira. Indira's family are East Indian, and, you know, she left some, they have a bakery, so she left some flat bread.
Yes.
Right? So the names a lot of times are so relatable. We know these kids. We've heard these names before.
Yes.
But yes, Femi is the main character. And then let me show you. It started out with the parents painting the home, because I know that a lot of Caribbean parents
that's what we do.
Exactly. Growing up, that's what we do. And I'm going to tell you, Christmas time here, I find something to paint just so I can smell it at Christmas time. It's nostalgic.
Yes.
I still do that to this day. So it's, you know, it's a Caribbean home. And of course they have blinking fairy lights, because,
that's
you
right.
know, I grew up saying fairy lights. And you put up new curtains at Christmas time. That's Femi and her family. And yeah, they're putting up all the Christmas stuff. And one of the page I love is this one, where they went to the Caribbean grocery store.
Yes, yes.
I'm very, very big on promoting Caribbean grocery stores in our community, because it helps to build us, right? And we support each other. And of course, it's a place where we get all the ingredients that, you know, we find back home.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? And then in Canada, of course, kids love the Christmas fair. So we're putting these kids, they're having a good time in the snow with Santa Claus. They're seeing a man beating the African drums. They're dancing. They're enjoying the winter festivities. But once again, in their home, it's a big Caribbean celebration.
It's a thing. Don't show them all the book, because they want them to buy the book. A piece of black cake for Santa. But you get a sense of what it's about. It's a great read, not just for the children, as we shared with you this morning, but the adults as well. Because for those of you who may have lost the sense of your culture, you get a chance to read it through the pages of the book as well, A Piece of Black Cake for Santa. For those of you living overseas and you've missed home at Christmas time, this book brings it vividly back to you. A Piece of Black Cake for Santa by Yolanda Marshall. And in doing so, you not just get to hear the story of the young man who encounters so many different things, but also goes so many different places, and who just wants to give back to Santa. You also get to learn how to make black cake yourself. It's all within that one book indeed. And so the book is available how? How can we get a copy of it?
So my books are actually available on Amazon. I know for Barbados, you know, I know a lot of people buy from Amazon.
Yes.
Also, I do believe some local bookstores in Barbados will be able to get it for you. So it's available worldwide.
Yes.
And of course, it's the publisher for this book is Canadian, but yeah, the book is available everywhere. And I have like 15 books. Like I have a lot of books, and they're all about the Caribbean, all celebrating the Caribbean. And celebrating Barbados.
Nice, nice, nice. Look for her name, Yolanda T. Marshall. Yolanda T. Marshall. And get to see all that she's written. A Piece of Black Cake for Santa is just one, but there's so many others as well, all on Amazon.
Yeah.
So you can get on there and get the books. We love to support Barbadian and Caribbean authors as well. So we want to encourage as many of you as possible to continue reading, but continue getting and supporting our authors from the region too. So Yolanda Marshall, I want to thank you this morning for joining us. I thank you so much for sharing with us the journey of this little young enterprising young man and showing us again that our culture has value. It is rich and it is one that we can share to the rest of the world, and the rest of the world demands it as well. And so it behooves you, as the old people will say, to write some more. Yolanda Marshall, thank you very much, and all the best for the new year to you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. My pleasure indeed. Have a good one too. Yolanda T. Marshall is her name. The book is called A Piece of Black Cake for Santa. It's available on Amazon, but it's just one of a whole series of books written by her that you can get to read. And you know, here on Morning Barbados, we're always encouraging you to write, but we're also encouraging you to read. And so now you know there are other places, other authors who you can read, many of them from our region. Yolanda herself being Guyanese born, she's a Canadian, but she's visited us because she has a Barbadian father. And her son loves Barbados just as much as she does too. So let's give her our fullest support. We're taking a break here. We're coming back to Unscramble with you in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 minutes now to 8 o'clock. This is the time we get ding-dong right now. So you give me a call, folks. It's time to unscramble some letters. We have so much fun with this. It's not funny. Sonia, good morning to you, Sonia boys. Good morning indeed. We've had a good laugh yesterday, didn't we? So here we go. My production crew. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Look, we have a phone call already. What? You guys are on the ball, boy. So let's see if you figure this one out now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Pierce. How are you?
Gregory, I'm well. How are you doing?
I was supposed to do since last year. The Christmas cover must be very nice. I got to wish you a Happy New Year.
Thank you, my friend. You too as well. Gregory, can you figure out the word on your screen? Do you know what word it is?
Yeah, the word that we need to go with everyday guidance.
You look at this word K that ends with caged, and you think guidance?
Yes, guidance.
All right, Gregory. Are you sticking with that?
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
You know I love to tell you that you're wrong, right, Gregory?
I know you will, but I think you would tell me I'm right.
You're absolutely right, Gregory. Well done. Well done. Thank you, okay?
Yeah, keep the good word up, Pearson.
Thank you, Gregory. Appreciate it. So, Gregory, so, oh dear, look at this one, though. This one got you all good, right? Look at this one. Hoo, hoo, hoo. So many consonants in this one. I have no clue what you will do with those consonants, but your job is to unscramble all of them, put them in order, and tell me the word you see right before you, right there on your screen. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word do you see you can make using the letters on your screen? They're all scrambled. Your task is to unscramble them and give me the word. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Fantastic. You're welcome. What is your first name and what parish are you watching from?
I'm Stephanie of St. Peter.
Stephanie of St. Peter. Stephanie,
Yes,
long
please.
time no hear.
Pardon me?
Long time no hear you, girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Good to hear
I
you.
watch
You
your
thought-
mornings, though. Charming as ever, sweet as ever.
Bless your eyesight.
I enjoy your mornings too.
Bless your eyesight, Steph. So, Stephanie, talk to me. Can you figure
Well,
out
I
this
don't
word?
know, but I suggest you might be successful.
I
might
know.
wrong, but I feel successful.
You want to be right or you want to be wrong?
I want to be right.
And if you can't be right, you got to be wrong, right? You were successful, Stephanie. Well done.
Is successful for you?
Yes.
Okay.
You surprised yourself. Did you surprise
I'm
yourself?
surprised, yeah, it's successful, yeah.
So you guessed it.
I'm
You
so
guessed
happy.
right. Well done, Stephanie. Thank you. All right. Have a good day. Stephanie's one of those who I would have interacted with while on radio on QFM. So Stephanie, yes, Stephanie Cumberbatch is her name. 9 minutes now to the hour of 8 o'clock. I feel as though I know so many Barbadians. I really do. Look at this one now. Scanned tea. Scanned tea. Ha ha ha. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word can you now make with this one? You guys sure? Production crew, are you sure? Have you missed a letter there? 228-5562. I think we have, production crew, knowing what the word ought to be. All right, we'll go to this one instead. We'll go this, see what I hear? 228-5562, 228-5563. Now, we've switched it up. We're giving you a new set of letters right there. We're coming back to that one. Don't think you got away. Don't think you got away. But which one is this now? What word is this one on your screen? 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word can you make? This one is easy. I think it's easy. I really do think it's easy. I think you look at it and you get it right away. So have you looked at it? Did you get it right away? Clearly not. Because had you done so, you would have called me by now. So call me now, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, person. Hello, like Wesleyan to me.
Wesleyan?
Yeah.
That's what you said, Gregory?
Yeah.
Spell Wesleyan.
I know, see, that I don't have a Y in it.
Spell Wesleyan. Gregory?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you realize they ain't got no Y in it, right?
W-E-S.
L-E-Y-A-N is Wesleyan, right?
Right.
And as you've correctly identified, there's no Y in the word you see on your screen. So, Gregory, you are dead wrong.
Right,
Thank you.
I see that.
Good man, good man. All right, Greg. So come on, folks. What word is this one here? It is not Wesleyan. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word is it? You got it? Good morning. Hello.
Hi, Pastor. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
What are you doing? But what you always going this bad? Then you're doing well. Yes, sir.
I'm doing well.
There you go. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
I am watching from St. George.
And George, and it is?
Ricky.
Ricky from yesterday?
Yes, sir.
So, boy, Ricky, you're sharp. You're too sharp for words. You know this one, right? You know.
Yes, I think I'm seeing wellness.
I want to hear what you see, though.
The word is wellness.
Yes, Ricky, absolutely right. Ricky, do you get a chance to go to the beach? Or you're not a beach? You're not a beach guy.
I'm not the type of beach person, no.
And you believe that is because you've not grown up near to a beach?
Come on, Pearson. Come on, Pearson.
In other words, yes.
That is probably the case.
Yes, in other words, say yes. But wellness it is indeed. Thank you, Ricky. All the best indeed.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, Pastor. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shall we give them a... Oh, ho, ho. Princess. T. Princess. That's what I see, but what do you see? Unscramble this word for me, folks. Unscramble this set of letters now. Got you good. Got you good. It is not as you see it right there. You have to fix up these letters in order and let me know the name, the word you make when you unscramble these letters. 228-5562 or 228-5563. We have 5 minutes to 8 o'clock. So come through. 228-5562. or 228-5563. What word can we make when we unscramble these letters on your screen? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Northern parishes, want to hear from you some more? We had Stephanie who came through from St. Peter. We had St. George. We had St. Michael. Where are we going to now? Where are we going to now to get a correct answer? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah.
Are you doing well today?
Yes, please.
Okay, wonderful. Don't whisper. Speak loudly for me, okay? What is your first name and what parish are you watching us from?
From St. George.
You're from St. John?
St. George.
George. And what is your first name?
My name is Kevin.
Hey, Kevin of St. George. Kevin, do you think you know the word? You can unscramble the word on your screen?
Yes, please.
All right, Kev, take it away. What word do you see?
I see television.
You see television?
Yeah.
You see a V in there, Kevin?
Yeah.
Where's the V, letter V? V as in voice. Do you see the letter V? V? Kev?
Yeah.
No, in other words, you're wrong, Kevin. But thanks for trying. Thank you for trying, Kevin. Television. Let me look carefully. T-E, there's no L, there's no V, there's no O, if I'm spelling television right. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me now. Let me know the word you see on your screen. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh, wonderful. What is your first name and what parish are you watching us from?
Christchurch.
And your first name?
Haley.
Judy?
Haley.
Julie. J-U-L-I-E?
Haley.
Oh, Haley. Is it spelled H-A-Y-L-E-Y?
No, H-A-Y-L-E-I-G-H.
Oh, you have one of those fancy spellings to your name. Well done, Haley. How old are you?
8.
8 years old. And what school do you go to, Haley?
Lutherthorne.
Where is Lutherthorne School? What parish?
St. Michael.
Aha. So you go to the Lutherthorne Primary School in St. Michael. Is that near to where Tyrrell Cott is?
Pardon me?
Where exactly is your school located?
St. Michael, Willie.
All right, Willie St. Michael. I now know where your school is then. Thank you, Haley. Haley, as a wonderful 8-year-old young lady, tell me the word you see on your screen. What word do you think we can make from these letters on your screen?
Persistence.
I beg your pardon, Haley?
Persistence.
Are you sure?
Yes, please.
Did someone help you sort this out or you sorted it out on your own?
I started out on my own.
On your own? Well, spell, Haley, for me the word persistence. Persistence. Oh, Haley.
Yes, please.
Could you spell the word persistence?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, spell it for me.
P-E-R-S-I-S-T-E-N-C-E.
Well done, Haley. I am so proud of you. You are absolutely right. Do you love spelling?
Yes, please.
Do you love to read?
Yes, please.
Do you have a dictionary?
Yes, please.
You've answered me correctly on every question. Well done, Haley. Thank you so much. Have a good day today at school, okay?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you, Haley. She's so polite. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Love it. That's it for today, folks. You two have been fantastic. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, if it be God's will, we're coming back. But thanks to my producer, Nadia Foster, our technical director, Rural Ford, sound engineer, Michael Sobers, and master control is Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyne for each of them. To all of you, we thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.